Welcome to the October 12th, 2025 Massachusetts Pirate Party member meeting. My name is James O'Keefe, a resident of Somerville and party chair, and I'm joined by...
You're joined by First Mate Steve Revelak. Good evening.
Excellent. Anything to add to the agenda or other
No addition,
announcements to make?
no additions or announcements here.
Great. So, um, reports are simply the last Pirate News was posted last Monday. Posted a congratulations to the Czech Pirates. They went from 4 to 18 members in the latest parliamentary election, and of which 2 were members of the Green Party. So 16 members, but still quadrupling is always a good thing. And then there's some local stuff going on. For example, in Cambridge on the 23rd, Flock is looking to put up various surveillance cameras around Cambridge, and they need to get the Pole and Conduit Commission to sign off on that. So that meeting is at 9 a.m. on the 23rd. If folks who are abutters to said properties, and we'll notify people of that shortly, if you're on a mailing list, then they can show up at the meeting. It's all virtual, and tell the Pole and Conduit Commission how they feel about having surveillance cameras in near their property. So, no other reports. For decisions endorsements, I don't have any U.S. Pirate Party updates, unfortunately. A week from yesterday, so the 18th, is the No Kings protest. There's a wide variety of them around. There's a big one in Boston. I know I'm pretty much planning to go to it. Is that something you're planning to go to, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, perhaps we can plan to go to it together. I'll put something out in the email update that if folks want to join us, they can join us then.
Sounds good.
Okay. And all right, so in terms of project events, we have these meetings every 2 weeks. So next week, next Sunday, the 19th would be our next Pirate News recording. Is that okay?
I plan to be there. Yes.
Great. Okay, so campaigns and outreach. So we put together a campaign plan. I'll just give yeah. It's a draft document talking about kind of what our objectives are, some background, and our strategy of encouraging candidates to participate, and then a timeline. There's still some open questions and documents that we need to put together as part of this process. But it's enough of a draft to send it out to members, so that'll go out in the next email update for folks to comment on. And the other big issue is the Massachusetts Senate passed an act establishing the Massachusetts Data Privacy Act, or Massachusetts Data Privacy, and that is, it got renamed. It's interesting. They had one bill and they did a lot of amendments, and then they're like, no, that's going to be another bill. So anyways, that's S2619, an act establishing the Massachusetts Data Privacy Act. So I thought, some folks we know are supportive of it. It does, we don't have a Data Privacy Act, so I don't always think that something is better than nothing, but This may be a good bill. Anyways, should we review it?
It's a long bill.
That it
It
is.
probably a little too long to review on the fly.
Okay. Do you want to
We can do
do we
put it
want to
on the.
look over some of it now and
Sure.
then send it out to our members for comment and then come back in 2 weeks and do the final say.
I think that's reasonable.
All right. Okay. So this now establishes Chapter 93M, Massachusetts Data Privacy Act. We have a whole set of terms. Yeah. Ooh, gate. Nice. Such as biometric data. Anyways, we have a whole set of ooh, that's nice. Dark patterns. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Anyway, so we go beyond the target advertising, sensitive data, third party, and so on and so forth. So this chapter shall apply to persons that during the preceding calendar year one collected or processed the personal data of not less than 60,000 customers or consumers, excluding personal data controlled or processed solely for the purpose of completing a payment transaction. Collected or processed the personal data of not less than 20,000 consumers and derived not less than 20% of its gross revenue from the sale of personal data. Or 3, collected, processed, or transferred reproductive or sexual health data to consumers. That's nice. So there's no consumer limit to reproductive or sexual health data. Chapter shall also apply to an affiliate of a person described under this section if such affiliate transferred sensitive data to the person or the person's other affiliates in the preceding calendar year. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna the data brokers will just say, "Oh, we have these little micro companies that's for 5,000, 59,999 customers." Thoughts so far, Steve?
So I jumped ahead down to section 4 where it's talking about consumer rights. Um, the bits, the definitions, and the sections that set out the scope and applicability, while important, very important. I wanted to get into sort of kind of like what the bill actually did. So
Yes.
like assume it does apply to you. Um, so consumers' rights include being able to determine whether a controller is collecting or processing information about you, to obtain from the controller a list of third parties that the controller has given your data to. Consumers have the right to correct inaccuracies, and they have the right to have their personal data deleted. And they also have the right to obtain a copy of it and to opt out of the collection and processing of their personal data for the purposes of targeted advertising, sale of personal data, or profiling in furtherance of solely automated decisions that produce legal or similarly significant effects concerning the consumer. So I guess this is like, personal data that might be used to, give to algorithmically approve or deny, say, like a loan application. You can correct your data. And So there's an appeal process where the controller doesn't want to, tells you to go pound sand. You controllers can't use data in a way that personal data in the way that might discriminate against protected classes. Consumers may designate authorized agents to negotiate on their behalf. Okay, now we get to controllers. This is section 5, by the way. Okay, controllers shall limit the collection of personal data to what is reasonably necessary to provide or maintain a specific product or service requested by the consumer to whom the data pertains. That's good. I like that. So 2, unless a controller obtains a consumer's affirmative consent not to process personal data for a purpose that is neither unreasonably necessary to nor compatible with the disclosed purposes for which the personal data is processed, as disclosed to the consumer. So they can't say they're going to use your data for one thing and then turn around and use it for another. I like that too.
Yeah, that's kind of like standard. I'm thinking of, employers of when they talk about when they have you take that course about data privacy or whatever, and that's kind of the standard thing. Like you minimize what you take, and if you're using it for one purpose, you don't use it for another purpose without getting affirmative consent. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
have I jumped ahead from you or?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know. Yeah, that's kind of like the bare bones bits, but this is data privacy law in the United States, and the fact that Massachusetts might be getting the bare bones is that's not I'm both happy and deeply disappointed. Yeah, so what are we? Collect controllers shall establish, implement, and maintain reasonable administrative, technical, and physical data security practices to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility of personal data appropriate to the volume and nature of personal data at issue. Well, yeah, that would be nice too. Not using dark patterns or deceptive design to revoke the consumer's affirmative consent. It's bad when you have to like spell out that your data controller can't do shady shit to trick someone into doing what they want. But hey, that's good.
You mean it shouldn't take 8 screens to go through in order to sign up for something, or have the checkbox like run away from your mouse cursor or whatever?
Or the opt-out link is white on white on a white background, that sort of thing.
Got to select that text.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here about, the privacy notices that a data controller has to provide. So the data controller can't boot you out of like a rewards or loyalty program because you opt out of some of their stuff.
Amazon, amongst many others.
Oh yeah, I canceled my Amazon account a while ago, and I remember doing it on the phone. They were like, "Do you want us to delete your account?" I said, "Yes." They said, "You'll never be able to use that email again, to sign up for another Amazon account." I said, "I think that means you're not actually deleting it."
Yeah, if your email's still in there to prevent you from using it again, then perhaps. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if Amazon knows about local recipient delimiters, but what the heck? I mean, if you are, if you own your own domain, you could just make up as many emails as you want. If you're a Gmail subscriber, you could stick as many dots in the local part of the address as you want because Google just ignores those,
Right.
which is counterintuitive and surprising. But
Yeah. As to all the people who, yeah, anyways, getting email from someone because they don't understand their own email address, but okay.
mhm.
Or add just plus and then something, right? You can always do that.
So section 9, there's some interesting stuff in here. Nothing in this chapter shall be construed to restrict a controller or processor's ability to comply with federal law or other laws of the Commonwealth, which I haven't thought through the scenarios, but hey, that's that seems like a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So comply with subpoenas or
That's
summons. This is a very long list. Okay.
Ah.
So the Attorney General may adopt, amend, or rescind rules and regulations for the implementation, administration, and enforcement of this chapter. Standard bits. So section 2, parts of chapter 93M are repealed. I don't know what they are, but and then there's the next couple of sections are phasing in, where some of the stuff takes effect in January 1st, 2027, and some of it takes effect in the following June of that year. The very cursory read, I found some I found some positive points.
Yeah, being able to remove your data is vital, of course.
Being able to get a copy of your data is also kind of nice.
The only thing that I'm wondering though is how does this work in practice? So I go to some retailer and I say to them, "Hey, I want to see all the data that you have on me," and they send you that. Did you see something in there that says who did you give it to so I can then go and follow those people and tell them to remove said data?
Yes, they do have to tell you if they've given your personal data to someone else. So then you could, in theory, go and track them down. And in terms of how it's going to work, I suppose that's probably what the section giving the AG's office the ability to, craft and adopt regulations is at least partially about.
I just feel like there's a lot of data brokers and
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, we're putting it on the individual to go through and follow up with all of them and say, hey, remove my data, which, some enterprising person will come up with a service to do that, I suppose.
and I was not looking through this for, while I was skimming, but, I mean, another relevant question could be, how do we know who all of these data brokers are? That's, itself, that itself could be, just require a whole exercise in detective work.
Right. I mean, there's the three big credit rating agencies, and then there's a fourth hidden out there as well. And, just contacting the four of them is a bunch of work, never mind the 1,000 or more data brokers that could possibly exist.
Well, actually, so I'm thinking, so one of the, I only skimmed over the applicability section, but it talked about like people who have records of over like 60,000 people for for one or another. I wonder if I could use this to get certain like parties to stop sending me text messages. Hello, Democrat and Republican parties. Can you delete my ass from your data?
I mean, at least with that, you can just type STOP and they're supposed to stop sending to you. But yeah, then
Well, I think I often do this. I've probably done it 50 times, which
hmm.
makes me suggest that, or suggests that somebody got a copy of my mobile number and then just gave it to a whole bunch of other people. So, yeah, and swatting them down is like, oh, what's a game where the gopher pops up and you try to hit it with a mallet?
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. No. Except there's 1,000 moles and 10,000
Hmm.
holes.
Yep.
Joy. All right. So there's some goodness in here, whether it's enough goodness for us to support it. I guess I'll put out a little poll asking for folks to give their feedback on it and linking to this bill and seeing what other people find. And of course, in the next meeting, we can, when people have good suggestions, we can bring that up.
Yep. And in just in terms of Bill's status, so the Senate did adopt it by 40-0. Okay. It has been read in the House and referred to the House Ways and Means Committee. The House. So the next thing to do would be to look for this bill to come up at a hearing, but the Ways and Means Committee, at least according to the state legislature's website, they do not have any upcoming hearings scheduled. So it'll be something to keep an eye out for. Keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I mean, the House may come up with its own bill and then they'd have to reconcile. Or this is what the House bill is, and then um, Senate, you have to decide whether you want to support this or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because the House does have a tendency of watering things down, unfortunately. So, all right then. Um, shall we? I mean, there's more we could do, but it's a cold, rainy night before a holiday. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow, folks. And should we adjourn then?
Yeah, I think so. We got some stuff done, and yeah, it was good chatting with you, Jamie, as always.
Good chatting with you too, Steve. And for folks who have reached this far, thank you very much for, uh, watching this meeting. And we hope that you'll be able to join us at the next one in 2 weeks on the 26th. So, with that reminder, of course, if you're in Cambridge, there's going to be that hearing on 9 a.m. the 23rd. At the Cambridge Pole and Conduit Committee, which I never thought I would hear a committee named Pole and Conduit, but it's a city, I guess. And so, if you can show up and say, no, we don't want ALPR or license plate reading surveillance cameras in our fair city of Cambridge, please do. And of course, come out on the 18th for No Kings, because that's what this country was founded on. No damn kings. So thank you, Steve. Thanks
Thank you,
everyone
Jamie.
else, and hope you have a wonderful day off tomorrow.